original action-adventure hero, James Bond.
I'm the money.
Every penny of it.
Shut up. Welcome to Gouchard, the first ever YouTube series about movies. If you're watching this, you don't have the attention span to sit through a whole film, but that's okay. I'm here to do that for you. My promise is, by the end of this video, you will have the same level of knowledge as any film studies graduate. Today's topic is...
The name's Bond. James Bond.
The James Bond series. The James Bond series is one of the longest running and most lucrative in movie history. Since the release of the first film, Dr. No, in 1962, the franchise has grossed over $7 billion at the box office. That's slightly higher than the GDP of Malawi. The huge international success of the Bond films makes sense when you consider how relatable the character of James Bond, codenamed 007, is. He's an MI6 agent with a promiscuous sex life, and, when you think about it, in the whole world, there aren't many people who haven't been fucked over by the British. Bond was created by Ian Fleming in 1952. By 1961, he'd written 8 full-length Bond novels and 1 short story collection. The movie rights to these were purchased by the producers Harry Saltzman and Albert R. Broccoli. And yes, it is true that Broccoli's family invented the much-loved vegetable. Broccoli and Saltzman cast Sean Connery and Ned from Edinburgh as James Bond. The first novel to be adapted, Dr. No, was made on a shoestring budget, but turned out to be hugely successful. By the time Fleming died in 1964, James Bond was a pop culture phenomenon, generating an estimated $50 million in merchandise sales. There are now 24 Bond movies, not counting 2 unofficial productions that I will never, ever talk about. By changing the face of Bond, to date 5 different actors and Pierce Brosnan have played the character, the filmmakers have rebranded 007 for new audiences over the years. The films have also reflected real-world political developments. Daniel Craig's body is the perfect metaphor for the surveillance state we now live in. It's not pleasant to look at, and you suspect it doesn't work properly, but you're too afraid to do anything about it because it knows where you live and it will sit on your chest while you sleep. Most Bond films follow a similar structure, described by the filmmakers as the Bond formula. They usually begin with Bond finishing up an assignment, as in the famous opening scene from The Spy Who Loved Me. We then segue into the credits, full of dancing girls, and a title song performed by a popular tenor of the day. Past singers have included Tom Jones, Adele, and Michael Jackson. Once that's all out of the way, Bond is given his new mission by M, the head of British intelligence, and this forms the spine of the movie. In the course of his adventures, Bond will travel to exotic locations, seduce beautiful women, fight sinister villains, and bore anyone within earshot about the vodka martini, the worst drink in the whole world.
1 of vodka, half a measure of quina lily, shake it over rice, and then add a thin slice of lemon peel. Yes, sir.
Within that formula, there's some space for variation, and most Bond films fall into one of 2 categories: campy and over the top, or gritty and down to earth. The campier style is most associated with Roger Moore's portrayal of Bond.
I have a message for you.
I think you just delivered it.
But it started with Connery.
Shocking.
In these films, Bond is a nearly invulnerable superhero, utilising an array of tricked out sports cars and gadgetry to complete his mission. The storylines of these films are built around jaw-dropping stunts and huge expressionistic studio sets. There's a greater emphasis on humour, or at least something that passes for it, as in this scene from 1979's Moonraker. The grittier films, on the other hand, depict Bond as a more human character who uses brute force to defeat his opponents. The storytelling is more complex, reflecting the ambiguities of spycraft, while the action sequences are often violent. 1969's On Her Majesty's Secret Service, the only film to star George Lazenby as Bond, is the classic example of this style. Likewise, Timothy Dalton's 2 films as the character. These 2 styles have alternated throughout the run of the series. Whenever shit gets really fucking stupid, like it did in 2002's Die Another Day, the next film will usually strip things back, which was the case in 2006's Casino Royale. This is another strategy the filmmakers have used to keep the franchise commercially viable. Despite that success, the Bond films are, in the parlance of our times, more than a little bit problematic. In particular, the role of the Bond girl, the love interest in each film, has been described as misogynistic. The other charge is that Bond is nothing more than a colonial fantasy. When Ian Fleming created the character, Britain's empire was in decline. But the novels and films present the illusion that Britain is still a major player on the world stage. It's Bond, not the CIA, not NATO, who saves the day against the forces of destruction, often represented by black or Asian characters. Despite these undercurrents, the Bond films will be with us for the foreseeable future. We don't yet know what the next film will be about, nor what kind of tone it will have. Is it going to be dumb as shit? Or will Daniel Craig get one last chance to show off his BAFTA-nominated pecs? Whatever happens, I can guarantee one thing. It will make a shed load of cash off product placement alone. And if that doesn't make you proud to be a straight white male, then can you really call yourself a film student? I'm going to take it as read that you enjoyed that episode of Gouch Hard, so do the honourable thing and hit the subscribe button below. New episodes are added regularly. You can also follow me on Twitter at @GouchHard. Thanks for watching.